Suicidal tendencies that creep up in my coffin. I don't wanna do no talking. Can't you see the reaper? He go crazy, he go dumb. I'm gonna let my chopper drown.
Hi guys, in this YouTube video I will show you how to tweak OpenSUSE Linux for gaming. First of all, you need to know that different people have different opinions about OpenSUSE. Some people like it, other people they don't. It isn't like Fedora that many people agree it is a good product. Some people love it, for example, because of the power of the Yast configuration manager. Here with Yast you can do many things. Administrator date time, you can configure everything through Yast, but other people say that OpenSUSE is bad. For example, OpenSUSE distro from hell, who also switching to OpenSUSE disaster. So this video is for those people that use OpenSUSE, understand it and like it, and also that want to make it very good for Linux gaming. First of all, you should use the Tumbleweed version. It is a rolling release. In this way you will get the new updates faster, the newer kernel version that will provide you better performance and newer drivers if you use Intel or AMD graphics. First of all, seeing the repository, update, update the distro. Now install Microsoft Fonts. They will give you better compatibility in those games that use Microsoft Fonts. Install fetch mstt fonts. Enter. Install. Now let's decrease the swappiness level. On a Linux system, swap is the partition where data is moved when the RAM is full. By default, the value is pretty high, so we need to decrease it. The value is 60, we will make it 10. In this way, we will use the system RAM in a more efficient way. vm.swappiness equal 10. This change will take effect after a reboot. Now go to settings, go to display, night light. In this way it will give you night light to see better at night. Apply. Now you need to install some repository to allow you to install some software, for example Wine, NVIDIA drivers and other software. I will put these links into the video description or inside pastebin file. Now the last command will enable the repository. Always do enable everything because the repository are signed with GPG keys. Trust always. You can see key name. In this way, if it gives you the name of the key, you are sure that the repository is fine without problems, without malware. Here update the repository applications. Now let's install Flatpak on our system. Add the Flatpak repository. Flatpak is suggested because it is this universal package format. For example, many emulators are available on Linux under Flatpak, like DuckStation, PS1 emulator, GNOME Games, the only one emulator that works really well, for example, for Nintendo DS and Nintendo 64. Also, the PlayStation 2 emulator, PCSS2, has Flatpak. Now, let's open the Yast Software Center. Now let's install the NVIDIA driver packages. Install kernel. Here you can see the letter G. You need to look at the number, the highest the number, the best. Here accept the various license agreement. G-Seeds again, G-Seeds, NVIDIA settings should be included with these packages. And accept the various NVIDIA license agreement for all the NVIDIA products. Continue and let it install. Now that the NVIDIA package is installed, we can install the other Wine package. Return again in Yast Software Manager. The most important thing is to install Wine Staging. It is the newest version with the bug fixes and improvements, better than the stable version. DirectX Vulkan, very important component. This one we don't need it. We needed a different version, WineGecko, WineMono, very important packages, Wine 9 as well. Here, Wine Staging, it is the newest version, 7.20, while the standard Wine is older, it is older, because Wine Staging will provide you more updates and also Wine Tweaks, GUI for Wine, accept, install everything. Now that Wine is installed, let's install the last packages that we need. We will install Game Mode to improve Linux performance while gaming. Ludwig, a popular front-end for Wine and Steam. Also, two applications to provide you MSI Afterburner-like performance monitoring. They are MangoHard and GOverlay. MangoHard, GOverlay. Now, Bluetooth and Steam. Steam. Here, resolution conflict. It is one of the reasons why some people don't like OpenSUSE. Sometimes this thing can work very bad and give you troubles, but I tried this option and it doesn't break the system compatibility. Accept and install the latest packages that we need. Now let's configure Wine with WineCFG as a normal user in the terminal. Here it will install WineMono and WineGecko. They are important components to make Wine will run Windows applications. Later I will show you a little also root with. As to Steam, simply open it, go into Settings, enable Proton Steam Play. Proton is this compatibility layer that will enable you to play most Windows games, especially since the release of the Steam Deck, the gaming console made by Steam that also runs Linux. The Valve Corporation, proprietary of Steam, has very big reasons to make the games work well on Linux, because in this way they will sell more Steam Decks and also in the same time making Linux gaming the best for everyone, not just them. Here write random owner. Klaus is the name of this virtual machine. Enable the wine staging features. Apply. Ludwig, it is a very popular wine front-end. For example, I need it because by default on my system, Wine only works with the integrated graphics, not the dedicated one. Thanks to Ludwig, I can enable Mango Hard in games. For example, Fallout 4 will have these Mango Hard stats like MSI Afterburner and run on my dedicated graphics card, having better performances. I also made a short about this thing that Bethesda games work very well on Linux with very good performances, even if there are not native Linux games. As to native Linux games, you should pick those made by Feral Interactive, such as Rome, Son of Rome, or also the Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider. Here, this is Ludwig. You can go into settings, you can install games, add games, for example, install add locally installed game if you have the game folder already installed in Windows. Also go to preferences. You can install many runners to play different games. You can also use Ludwig to manage all your different video game console simulators in a single place. For example, Linux native games such as Super Tooth Kite, the PlayStation 2 emulator that I told you work very well. These two Dreamcast emulator. One day I should try them to see which one is the best one. However, if you use this game store to buy games, you can also connect them to Ludwig. You can go into settings, global option here. As I told you, Mango card, you can enable it here to use NVIDIA graphics card if you have a laptop with discrete graphics like mine. And this was how to turn OpenSUSE Tumbleweed into a Linux gaming distribution. See you later, guys.
Motherfucker in this world can do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself and my psyche.